Hello, I'm Dr. Wilshire at Missouri Fertility. Welcome to our Frequently Asked Questions video series. Today I'm going to answer a question that I get asked a lot. People say, Dr. Wilshire, why did you go into this field? Why did you become a reproductive endocrinologist? Well, I've thought about it, and it's kind of an interesting story, so I figured I'd share it. When I was 3 years old, I had my tonsils out. I remember that very clearly, the ice cream, the pain, and I also remember the little Bugs Bunny stuffed animal I got. Now this Bugs had a little string that you'd pull out, and when it went back in, it would say, "What's up, Doc?" It would say a few things, and I loved that little Bugs. And after about 2 years of pulling that string at around age 5, it stopped working. Well, what did I do? Well, my first inclination was to set up an operating table, get out a knife, scissors, thread, cut that little Bugs Bunny open, did what I now know is a vertical midline laparotomy, took out the voice box, did something to it, fixed it, put it back in, sewed it up real beautifully, and wouldn't you know, it worked for years to come. And I always looked at that incision, all beautiful and sewed up right, and always knew that I wanted to be a surgeon. So I went through much of my childhood wanting to be a surgeon. I did a lot of needlepoint and embroidery, believe it or not, because I knew I wanted to get good at sewing, and I enjoyed that. I also made a lot of model rockets, which involves using an X-acto knife in balsa wood, making these rockets. So I was always using little knives, using my hands, building things and making them look real pretty. So from there, I always figured I wanted to be a plastic surgeon. What would be a better synthesis of all those things? And I went into medical school considering to be a plastic surgeon. When I did my surgery rotation, I got caught up in the excitement of trauma surgery. I figured, well, maybe I'll go into trauma surgery. That might be a little more exciting. The world of the surgery training, however, was something I didn't anticipate, and it wasn't as exciting or fun as I was anticipating. Everything changed when I did my OB rotation, second half of third year medical school. I'll never forget it. Delivering my first baby in the middle of the night in Plainfield, New Jersey, at the old Muhlenberg Hospital. It was just an incredible experience. The family was so happy. The baby was so beautiful. The whole experience was just touched me to the core, and it was really beautiful. So that really appealed to me. Once I started doing more rotations in OB, I got exposed to reproductive endocrinology. Back then, the IVF was not nearly as good as it was. The minimally invasive surgeries were still in their infancy, and it was a very exciting time. I got to see what happened when people did become pregnant, did have their babies, and the joy that it brought to their faces and their lives, the lives that it touched, really meant a lot to me. And I began to do some soul searching, and I realized this is something that I wanted to devote my life to. So I did my OBGYN residency, always planning to do reproductive endocrinology. I worked real hard, got my fellowship in reproductive endocrine, and I got to train under some fantastic people. I learned an awful lot. And one thing I learned is that we're always learning in this field. The field continues to give me tremendous personal satisfaction. Intellectually, it's very exciting because it's always changing and always developing, and I'm always learning. The satisfaction of helping people get pregnant, have babies, and then bring the babies to the office so we can play with the babies and see the joy that it brings them gives me just tremendous satisfaction. Also brings tremendous satisfaction to my nurses and everybody else that works with me. So as I look back, I think I've made the right choice. I have a job that is not a job. It's a profession, but it is tremendously meaningful to me. I'm very grateful to be a reproductive endocrinologist, and I'm very honored that people come to me with their problems and allow me to participate in solving them and helping them have the families that they want. So there's the story about how I became a reproductive endocrinologist. I hope that's interesting to you. This is Dr. Gil Wilshire at Missouri Fertility in Columbia, Missouri. I hope you found this video helpful. Please feel free to like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Instagram.